Bar Arrington, so I'm going to call him Roddington.
Let's take a look at the way these teams got here. And, you know, Uniontown was expected to be here for Char Valley, a real upset that they were able to make it this far. They not only beat the defending champion from last year, Penn Hills, they knocked off the 2nd seed Central Catholic. They knocked off the 3rd seed Montour, who've beaten them twice during the regular season. Uniontown, though, we expected them to be here.
Uniontown was the Post-Gazette's preseason #1 team. We picked them at the start of the year, but I'm going to tell you right now, Chartiers Valley coach Tim McConnell, hey, he's bucking for Coach of the Year. Done the best coaching job in these playoffs. Wonderful, marvelous job what he's done. He has them in the final. Now, 3rd-place teams aren't supposed to win the championship, right? You go back a year ago,
that's right.
Penn Hills, 3rd-place team in their section, they won the title. Don't be that shocked if the Colts can pull it off today.
And maybe the fact that they knocked off Penn Hills already is going to be a feather in their cap. We'll see if Char Valley can pull off the upset, taking on Uniontown here from the Palumbo Center, coming up next.
Somewhere between conventional hair replacement and conventional hair transplants, there's something else. New graft teeth. This is how real hair grows, how real hair combs, how real hair feels. But graft teeth isn't real growing hair. It's not conventional hair replacement or a transplant. Graft teeth is the new, improved, non-invasive hair graft from Folligraft. The improvement is in the graft itself, the thinnest layer of skin ever. This is growing hair under 90 times magnification. This is graft teeth under 90 times magnification. Can't tell which is which? That's the point. Of course, since no one lives under a microscope, graft teeth not only looks like growing hair, it lives like growing hair. Do whatever you did when you had a full head of hair. Maybe do it more often. If you don't want conventional hair replacement or a transplant, look into new graft teeth by Folligraft. You won't believe your eyes.
For free information, call HRG now at 1-800-514-HAIR.
Well, he's sweating over there, but not because he's losing. Dan Malloy's leading 5-3.
He's got to come back up and hopefully shoot the 5 in the same pocket.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I think that was the toughest thing. It would appear now that the rack is his for the taking. And there it is.
Notice the cue ball. Center of the table. Bing.
Roddy's lucky to avoid a selection call. And as you can see, there's some action on table number 1.
Scores and highlights are only half the story. Oh, my goodness! Now, the nightly show that delivers more coverage. Oh, man! More analysis.
That's not how you win football.
More opinions.
This one's just too good to be true.
Plus, live interaction where you get to sound off.
How did this show get out of control?
Our team covers the sports scene like you've never seen.
What a hit!
The National Sports Report at 10 at midnight on Fox Sports Net. Miss it, miss out. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to the Palumbo Center. Things pretty well filled up here for the Quad A championship game between Char Valley and Uniontown. Take a look at the starters. We begin with Char Valley. Glenn Miner, 6 foot. He's a senior. Kareem El Nokali, very, very smart player. How smart? He's got a 4.0 average. See Jerry Harness. Jerry Harness, we talked about him in the pregame show. Brian Gaucher, point guard. Boy, he has really been good throughout these playoffs. And Derek McKenzie, the eldest of 3 McKenzie brothers, is getting the start for Char Valley as well. Take a look at Uniontown's starting lineup. And David Winfrey, point guard, has a high ankle sprain, only about 75%. Going to be interesting to see because he's the guy that sort of triggers that pressure defense. Terrence Vaughns, Nelson Jones, we talked about him. You're going to love his hair. You're going to love the way he plays. Brandon Duncan moved into the starting lineup midway through the year, and Chris Jacobs also manning the forward spot. Yeah, these folks,
they're all Post-Gazettes.
They must be reading your article. Very popular today. Well, we expect to see, as we mentioned at the top of the show, a difference in styles. And you talked about it, Uniontown is patient offensively, but they really try to trigger things with their defensive pressure.
Key to this game today, Rob, is how Chartiers Valley handles Uniontown's pressure defense. There are 2 guards, Brian Gaucher and Derek McKenzie. Been best friends since grade school. They're the keys to this game. Brian Gaucher at 1 point this year. Tim McConnell was ready to bench him, was not playing well, but has played very well in the playoffs and has made great decisions. He's the key to how he handles Uniontown's pressure.
Red Raiders coach Dave Shuck said his team wants to play in your face, get that defense going. Tim McConnell the Colts coach, said they've got to limit their turnovers, they got to get back on defense, and they've got to win the rebounding margin. They can't allow Uniontown to get any second chance baskets.
Uniontown's not a very big team. They don't have much size. Char Valley has the height advantage on. Watch for Kareem El-Nakali. He's had a very good playoffs, averaging 14 rebounds a game. He'll be key in this also. Amazing. At 6'3", he is the biggest guy out on the court. Neither one of these teams is very big, and El-Nakali, where the tip goes out of bounds, and Uniontown is going to take over. Uniontown in the white. And we'll take a look at the officials today. And this is David Winfrey with the ball. Char Valley has played multiple defenses throughout the playoffs, coming out in man-to-man. Here's Jones in the corner, shot off the mark, gets his own rebound. Shot off the mark again, but this time followed up and in by Chris Jacobs. And here's the full court pressure right out of the shoot. A hold. Terrence Vaughn, leading scorer for Uniontown, is called with a foul. See, sometimes, Rob, they'll deny the inbounds pass. They'll face guard you. Sometimes they'll put a couple players at half court. Watch Vaughn's here. Goes Brian Gaucher trying to get open. Just being held up a little by Terrence Vaughn's. Good call by the officials. Harness now looking to inbounds. Goes to McKenzie. Back to Harness, and now the pressure sort of eases back a little bit, but they'll stay in man-to-man. Harness out to Gaucher. Gaucher being guarded by Vaughns. I thought we were going to see Winfrey on him. Gaucher gets by Vaughns, drives to the basket, kicks out. Minor decides to pass up the shot over to Harness. His three-pointer off the mark. Long rebound pulled down by Gaucher and then stolen away by Duncan. See, the last two games against Montefiore and Central Catholic, Char Valley got off to great starts. It's not happened so far here today. Jacobs over to Winfrey, out to Jones again. Back out to Winfrey at the top of the key. Man-to-man defense still. Shot off the mark, and now the rebound pulled down and controlled by Char Valley. Harness to El-Nakali. Nakali on the move, has it his pocket picked by Jacobs. Jacobs pulls up, layup, and lays it in. There it is, creating the offense with the defense. So far, Char Valley's having tons of trouble, getting the ball in bounds and getting their half-court offense. 4-0, and this is not the start Tim McConnell wanted. Minor kicks over to Gaucher. Gaucher will reset the offense, now being guarded by Jones. Looks like this is a trap. And it's effective again. The defense of Uniontown turning it up to Jones. Jones lays it up, off the mark, too strong. Vaughns gets the rebound. Over to Winfrey, gets it back again, now back out to Winfrey again. Nobody on Winfrey, so he lets loose. Three-pointer off the mark. El-Nakali is able to get the rebound. Watch Char Valley, Rob. They'll play a lazy man-to-man on the point guard. They'll let him shoot outside all he wants. Harness has it stripped. Red Raiders fans thought they were going to get the ball back, but instead, Char Valley maintains possession. Char Valley always runs some excellent out-of-bounds plays. We'll see what happens here. Tim McConnell saw him over there. You got to be a little concerned right now. Gaucher penetrates in the middle, has his shot blocked, gets it back. Try to reset the offense, being guarded by Vaughns again. Straight man-to-man now by Uniontown. Boy, they really get in your face, don't they? Man, they defense extended way out, and there's Gaucher with a turnover. He has really done a great job throughout the playoffs of taking care of the basketball. Very uncharacteristic, but again, that pressure you were talking about. Yeah, I don't know if they face defensive pressure quite like Uniontown gives you. Central gives you some, but I don't think it's quite like Uniontown's. Now Char Valley has, well, it looks like a man-to-man, but El-Nakali sort of standing in the middle. Maybe it's a, I don't know what kind of defense it is. That's a man-to-man. They're playing a lazy man, though. They won't guard Winfrey, the point guard, past the foul line, though, Rob. They'll let him shoot outside all he wants. So El-Nakali is able to sag off of that a little bit and help out in the middle. They really want to do a good job on the help side, on the weak side. Now, here's where they're having trouble, though, getting the ball in bounds. See, when they get the ball in bounds, Uniontown does not guard the person throwing it in, and Hardest can bring it up himself without pressure. And a reach-in foul. This one's going to be on Jacobs. You see Winfrey, the real catalyst on this defense. Coach Dave Shuck said it's hard for the team to put as much pressure on as far as the full court pressure and maybe the 1-3-1 with him hobbled a little bit. He said when he was hurt, this team was nowhere near as good as it could be as we have a foul there. And it looks like that's going to go on Winfrey on the hold. Dave Shuck said the other night, for this team to be at its peak performance, he needs Winfrey. Here you go, here, Derek McKenzie taking it to the wing. Just a little pass up high to McCauley and a reach in.
Either way, whether it's the 1-3-1, which we saw there, the man-to-man, this defense is tenacious. Out to Minor. Minor's three-pointer off the mark again. Rebound pulled down by Vaughn.
See, the last two games, they hit those kick-out shots when Gaucher penetrated. So far, they haven't.
Well, they showed against Penn Hills in the first round they could come from behind, but clearly not the way they want to go. Duncan, after the rebound of the Jones miss, is fouled, and he'll go to the line.
Derek McKenzie on the reach-in.
Dan Hoffman is going to check in for Char Valley. Hoffman was a starter throughout a lot of the year. Glenn Minor took over that role. You see Minor go to the bench. Now, those guys very interchangeable. Good defensive players. They hustle.
Pretty much a six-man unit, this Char Valley team. Tim McConnell normally doesn't play many players. 6 or 7, that's about it.
Turnover to McKenzie. McKenzie looking to run. Goes over to El Nocali. Uniontown doing a nice job getting back, and now the pressure as Winfrey bats it away from El Nocali. It'll be Char Valley ball.
Here's another key for how are the officials going to call this game? Rob, so far, they're letting them go. A lot of defensive pressure go, a lot of contact. That's much more advantageous to Uniontown than it is to Char Valley.
Well, teams that play aggressive defense seem to get those calls. You see Winfrey knock it out of bounds. They come in with a reputation, and they can get away with maybe a little more pushing and a little more reaching because they have the rep of being a good defensive team.
Good point. Very good point.
Here's Harness. Harness knocks down the three-pointer. And you board a 3.
You can't lose track of where Jerry Harness is on the court because he'll make you pay more often than not. Bad defense that time by Uniontown.
Now Jones a long jump shot. It's off the mark. El Nocali battling for it. He comes away with it. Gaucher on the run. Gets by one man. Kicks to the corner over to McKenzie. McKenzie on the drive out to El Nocali. Thought about it. Pulled it back down. 17-footer off the mark. Gets his own rebound. Drives baseline. Looking for some help. Kicks it out to Gaucher. Three-pointer on the way is off the mark. Rebound by Harness. Over to McKenzie now. His first look from long distance. Also off the mark. And Jones finally corrals the rebound for Uniontown. Duncan with a three-pointer.
Over the back, Nelson Jones.
Well, it's early yet, but you have to wonder if some of these guys get a couple second fouls. It's going to be decision time as we see De'Aaron Jenkins checking into the game for Uniontown. We'll pick up the action when we return. Uniontown leads Char Valley 4-3.
Wrap up your race day with NASCAR Victory Lane. From the pole position to the winner's circle.
The last word on NASCAR each weekend.
A full recap of all the day's action. NASCAR Victory Lane, tomorrow at 9 on Fox Sports Net.
Hey, Keith, as a respected sports journalist, what advice can you give on helping me score with the ladies?
Keep hanging out at ballparks and racetracks and you'll be fine.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
William Perry, Bill Lee, and Buster Douglas. They were unforgettable characters who captured our imagination.
It was more than I thought it was going to be. It was unbelievable.
But disappeared all too quickly.
Once we left the ring, that's when it all fell apart.
Where are they now? A Beyond the Glory special. Tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
Shelley McConnell, the wife of Coach Timmy McConnell, and a nurse, met him at Waynesburg College.
Yes.
This guy is pretty animated. What makes him tick?
A lot of hard work. He's been like that since I've known him. The love of basketball, actually, I guess.
Shell, let me ask you a question. I understand you never watched the game in the third quarter. What's that all about?
Again, it's a superstition. I always usually go out at halftime to get my kids something to eat. And I just got in the habit of staying out there for the third quarter, so that's what I do.
Hold up your good luck charm. There it is. Let's go back to Robbie and Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Pretty good basketball family, that McConnell family. Taken away now by Jacobs. Jacobs over to Vaughns. Vaughns into the corner. Shot on the way. Off the mark by De'Aaron Jenkins. Here comes Hoffman. Hoffman on the run. 1-on-3. Hit from behind by Jenkins.
De'Aaron Jenkins One of their top players, one of their top scorers, been coming off the bench lately, though. How about him? He's a half. Thien Hoffman with a fast break here. Doesn't like that ball in the left hand very much, does it? Lost controller, but he got the foul. Pierre Jenkins, half-brother of George Lemon, Bronzeville star who won a championship last night.
Jenkins was the team's leading scorer until he got hurt in the Laurel Highlands game. And then Duncan's been starting since then, and Jenkins able to come off the bench and supply some instant offense. Man-to-man defense. Gaucher penetrates, gets around, kicks over to Harness. Harness on the mark again with a three-pointer. Jerry Harness. Jacob up, and he is fouled. He'll get a chance to try a three-point play. Elmo Colley whistled for the foul inside.
Uniontown just beat Char Valley up the court that time. Simple as that. The other way, we're going to look here. They just beat him up the court. Kareem El-Nakali has to get up there quicker, has to get to that block quicker and defend. That's what Tim McConnell's on him about right now.
He said must get back on defense. That was one of the big keys to the game. They didn't there. Jacobs' free throw is off the mark, so it remains a 6-6 game. Gaucher being pressured out front over to El-Nakali. Now Gaucher right by his man, takes it all the way in. This time layup off the mark. Rebound still being battled for and controlled by Jenkins, who then throws it out of bounds.
Into the fourth row.
Well, Gaucher is able, it seems now, to penetrate at will, and either he's going to take it to the basket there, he missed a wide open layup, or kick it out to some open shooters.
You know, I'm really surprised more teams really don't lay off him in their man-to-man. You know, don't guard him past the three-point line because he is excellent at penetration. We got a foul on Dan Hoffman with the screen. Setting a bad screen and using the elbows a little bit.
That was Jenkins trying to fight over the top of that screen and just got the, Hoffman got the elbow out a little bit. There's Terrence Mullins, dumps down to Jones. Jones spins towards the middle, shot off the mark. How about that for boxing out? The ball hits the ground.
Very sound fundamentally, Char Valley. Always are under Tim McConnell.
Gaucher now looking for some room. Thought about it, pulled it back out. There's Hoffman. Hoffman kicks to Harness. Both teams very, very patient offensively. Although Uniontown, it seems, rush things a little more than they normally do. McKenzie had an open look, passed it up out to Harness again. Harness on the move, looking for El-Nakali. El-Nakali thought about it, pulled it down, almost had it stripped, kicks it back out to Gaucher again. Gaucher drops it down to Hoffman. A good pressure defense again. Looks like they called it a deflection.
And it's
so
right.
no
Everybody
back.
wanted over and back.
Hoffman, nice pass inside
nice
to
cut to the
McKenzie.
basket. Derek McKenzie, one of the best soccer players in WPIL. He'll play soccer right here next year at Duquesne University.
Pass inside, and Jacobs gets the layup. Nice work offensively.
Kareem El-Nakali went top side, and they laid the ball on the baseline side. No weak side help.
That's more of the Uniontown we've been expecting to see. A little more patient offensively and getting a really good look. El-Nakali inside, and he's fouled, and he'll go to the line. And the foul is on Jenkins.
Brian Gaucher once again on the penetration.
No, I beg
Brian
your,
Gaucher.
that's going to be called on Winfrey.
On the penetration. McCauley, the hack in the arm. Gaucher's going by some people so much here early, he got to start paying a toll.
McCauley hits the second one. Char Valley roaring from behind now leads 11-8 with 1 minute left here in the first quarter.
What a run they've been on, upsetting two teams. Tim McConnell said something to me funny yesterday. He was glad this game was at 2 o'clock and not a night game 8 or 9. Because the clock might strike midnight and that Cinderella slipper might fall off.
Adam Bozic, by the way, has checked in for the Red Raiders. He's manning the point. Shot by Jenkins off the mark. Jacobs, nice job inside, but El-Nakali able to block it from behind.
You know, Rob, if there is a question mark about this Uniontown team, it's really been the last 2 years. It's their outside shooting. And so far, it has not been very good.
Oh, and I saw them play in their semifinal game. I thought they did a nice job of being a little more patient. I don't think they're making the extra pass right now. There's Hoffman now. Good defense by Duncan. Out to El-Nakali. 13 seconds left in the quarter. Batted away by Jacobs, but goes out of bounds, 10.5 seconds left. Char Valley clearly trying to hold for the last shot here. Harness inbounds to Gaucher. Gaucher trapped over to Harness. Back out to Gaucher.
He'll penetrate and kick out.
5 seconds left. McKenzie tracking it down to the corner. Long three-pointer on the way. Off the mark. Jones gets the rebound. First quarter ends. And Char Valley roaring from behind, trying to continue the Cinderella story. They lead 11-8 after one.
Every day, AmeriDebt helps more people with money problems. People like Tom Baker.
My credit card debt was outrageous. Then I called AmeriDebt. They contacted my creditors and got my payments almost cut in half. Now I have only one small monthly bill.
AmeriDebt is a nonprofit organization that offers free consultations to consumers seeking to eliminate their debt. People like the Shaws.
Every month I pay our credit card bills, but the balances never seem to get smaller.
AmeriDebt got our interest rates reduced, and now the balances are dropping dramatically.
And what's even more amazing is our payments are less than before.
Call 1-800-553-8300. Regardless of your credit, in minutes, join the thousands of people who have turned their financial lives around. People like Maria Rinaldi.
Before I called AmeriDebt, the creditors were calling every day. I thought bankruptcy was the only way out. Now I'm debt-free, and my credit rating has been restored.
Call 1-800-553-8300. 1-800-553-8300. AmeriDebt, helping America get out of debt.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
There's some Colts fans on hand. First year in Quad A for them, and they've gotten to the WPIAL finals. They made it to the finals, in fact, won in 3A in 97 and 98. This is their fourth trip to the WPIAL championship, first time as a Quad A team. And again, they've been oversized all year. They finished third in Section 5, and yet here they are in the finals.
Hey, credit Tim McConnell. I say, what a wonderful coaching job he's done on this team. Slice three, they get the layup.
Yeah, Harness, that's a beautiful pass by El Nocali.
They've been running that play for years, called slice three, Rob. The key is a reverse pivot in the lane, backdoor play. They used to run it with Mike Colbert all the time. Now they ran it there. It's worked for years. Backdoor cut in the baseline.
Worked again. In fact, they got a big basket in the first round game against Penn Hills. McKenzie ran that play. Got the pass from El Nocali, yeah.
Slice three, it's called. The key is to go in and penetrate, reverse pivot, and then the man on the baseline goes backdoor.
A turnover. Now, after falling behind 4-0, Char Valley is ahead 13-8. On a 7-2 run since the game was tied at 6
There it is again. They tried it again. They tried it again with Derek McKenzie's side that time.
Gaucher being guarded by Duncan. Penetrates again. Missed the layup again. When he those layups to go, it's going to be especially dangerous. Pass up ahead to Jenkins. Has it blocked from behind by El Nocali. Creates a little room for himself. Moves Hoffman aside and then was able to make the layup. Gaucher now dribbling through pressure. And he'll pull up. Now he'll penetrate. Kick back out to El Nocali over to Harness. Harness open. Three-pointer this time off the mark. Battle for the rebound. McKenzie going for it, and he's going to let it go. It's off-white, and it's going back to Char Valley.
Derek McKenzie, he's small, but he's quick, Rob. Oh, is he quick. That comes from a lot of soccer playing. He played on some select teams this summer with soccer, big-time soccer player.
Well, you look at this team, and they don't look like an athletic basketball team, but Gaucher's a star soccer player. McKenzie is Harness, a great baseball player. El Nocali with a layup again, and Char Valley is beginning to break down the Uniontown defense.
Set play, El Nocali coming off the screen on the baseline. Gaucher with the dish.
Kevin McLean, number 52, is also checked in for Uniontown. This is Jenkins out to Winfrey. Over to Duncan. Trying to work it around the perimeter. Kind of a soft man-to-man. Winfrey's got plenty of room. Gaucher not really challenging that.
He won't. He'll stay around the foul line the whole night.
Duncan over to Jenkins, and Jenkins knocks down the shot. 15-12 now. Under 6 minutes left to go in the second. Gaucher being guarded by Duncan. They've really had no answer for Gaucher. This time off his hands and batted around by McLee, and will remain Char Valley ball.
Kevin McLee gave him a minute or two there. One of the top football players in the WPIAL next year. He was All-State this past season in football.
Jacobs checks back in, as well as Terrence Vaughns. I don't believe Vaughns has scored. Leading scorer for the Red Raiders has been held in check so far.
They're a balanced team, but they do need some output from him.
Hoffman drives, has it blocked by Jones, and Vaughns gets the rebound. Now, Vaughns is the team's leading scorer, but he's more of a steady 13, 14, 15-point a game kind of guy. Does a lot of good things. Very unselfish, according to Dave Schuck. Good rebounder, as we saw there as well.
You know, they're one of those teams that has different players stepping up game after game after game. Lately, it's been Chris Jacobs. He scored 14 or more in 8 of the past 10 games. So they are far, far from a one-man team.
Both coaches praised their team's unselfishness. I think Uniontown Jones was 0 for 6 in the first quarter. You see Vaughns now, the three-pointer, that's off the mark. Rebound battled for, it's going to be off Hoffman and will remain Uniontown ball. I think Jones may be a little jacked up and maybe took a couple more shots than maybe
he
Dave
normally
Schuck would like
exactly.
to see. Yeah.
Uniontown was 4 for 15 from the field in the first quarter.
Duncan knocks down the 15-footer.
They're going to need somebody to make an outside shot.
Cuts it to 15-14. Crochet with Duncan shadowing him.
Good game so far, Rob. I think this one might go down to the wire.
And all the earmarks of the game, it's going to be a close one. Harness now driving, beats his man and lays it up and in.
Jerry Harness, silky smooth. You know, he reminds me, I'm not saying he's as good as him at this age, but he reminds me of a young Dante Calabria, same type of style. I'm not saying he's going to be as good as Dante. That's saying a lot. But he's got a lot of potential, Jerry Harness, only a sophomore.
Calabria, North Carolina star. And Jones and Gaucher battling for it. Goes off Gaucher and will remain Uniontown ball. A couple substitutions now. Here Jenkins checks back in for Duncan. And Glenn Miner checks back in for Hoffman.
Kareem El-Nakali out. He's been their big man on the boards. We'll see if it has any effect on their inside game.
Yeah, my mistake. Hoffman's still in the game. El-Nakali has checked out. Here's Jones with Hoffman on him. Back out to Winfrey. Over to Vaughn. Vaughn's three-pointer shot off the mark. Rebound hauled down by Jacobs. Kicks out to Winfrey. Winfrey for three. Top of the key. Also off the mark. Batted out by Jones.
Broddington kept it alive.
Here's Jacobs in the middle. Shot off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Miner. You can see without El-Nakali out of there, some more second opportunity for Uniontown. Gaucher penetrating. Once again, can't get the layup to go. Jones with the rebound. Out to Jacobs. Jacobs has Winfrey with him. Takes it himself. Lays it up and in.
Chris Jacobs. Derek McKenzie played the pass. Chris Jacobs went for the shot.
Harness over to McKenzie in the corner. Wheels it over to Miner. Miner for three. Shot on the way off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Vaughn. A little more up-tempo pace now. This is to Uniontown's liking. Jones pulls up. Shot off the mark.
Push on
Rebound by Miner, but I don't know whether the foul is going to be on Hoffman or Miner. Let's wait and see. And it's going to be on
Glenn Miner. El-Nakali will quickly come back in.
I'll check back in for Hoffman. We're going to take a break. Char Valley clinging to a one-point lead, 17-16 with 3:30 left in the second.
Every weeknight, it's Totally NASCAR.
Your exclusive source of NASCAR information.
30 minutes of NASCAR news and highlights that put you in the driver's seat. Totally NASCAR, weeknights at 6 on Fox Sports Net.
Hi, my name is Joe Androstic, sales manager at Sendell Motors, Route 30 East in Greensburg. Volkswagen is one of the most popular cars on the road today. They're exciting, they're affordable, and they're just plain fun to drive. And as always here at Sendell Motors, you receive your best bottom line price and exceptional customer service before, during, and after the sale. So stop by for your test drive today. And remember, if you buy Volkswagen someplace else, you'll pay more money. And on the road of life, there are passengers and drivers. Drivers wanted.
I'm Jim Rome. Next week on The Last Word, I'll be joined in studio by Daytona 500 winner Michael Waltrip, and I'll talk to 76ers head coach Larry Brown about his team's outstanding season. The Last Word, weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Jerry Harness, I mentioned before, Rob, he really reminds me of a young Dante Calabria, that silky, smooth, feathery touch. There's a slice three play, backdoor cut. Really has come into a big-time player this year, I think, with a very nice future. As I said, last year as a freshman, saw a lot of playing time, was not one of the integral parts of the team. Now he is.
Harness is 4 of 6. He has 10 points. Char Valley is just 2 of 9 from three-point land. Uniontown, though, 0 for 6. Vaughns is 0 for 2. Jones 0 for 7 right now for them. There's a couple guys they want to get going offensively.
In that timeout, Tim McConnell all over Glenn Miner to rebound and get back on defense.
Vaughns pump fake, shot off the mark again. Rebound pulled down by Jacobs, stripped out by McKenzie, but controlled by Uniontown again. And Winfrey's got it, top of the key. Again, Gaucher, very soft man-to-man.
Barely coming past the foul line.
He's daring Winfrey to shoot. In the corner, shot on the way by Jenkins, off the mark again, and batted out of bounds, and it will go over to Char Valley.
You mentioned Uniontown shooting. That has been an Achilles heel for them at times, and it certainly has been here today.
Harness inbounds to Gaucher. Jenkins battling, thought he was pushed off a little bit there, may have. Now on the switch, Vaughns will come over and take Gaucher. Harness in the corner. Double, nice pass down low. Miner couldn't control, battling for it along the floor, though, still on the floor. And McKenzie bats it out to Gaucher.
McKenzie's always the ones with the raspberries on the knee because he hustles.
Gaucher to Harness. Harness missed the shot. Elmo Colley with a rebound and lays it up, and it took it right away.
They need him to do the job on the boards, averaging 14 rebounds in the playoffs. Big one there. Offense on the screen, McLee. Yep, Kevin McLee on the screen.
Back over to Char Valley. Hoffman back in for Miner. And Jones will check back in for McLee. See the two swatches across the uniforms of Char Valley, and we'll get a look at those at some point. You'll be able to see that.
Look at that shooting there.
Those in honor of the two young men from Montour Valley, or Montour High School. Montour High School, who passed away in that car accident earlier this year. Brandon Chiarelli and Brian Finnegan.
Really nice to see the whole WPIL kind of reaching out to that school. Even Stowe Rocks, their players today in the championship wearing T-shirts with Chiarelli and Finnegan's name on it.
Yeah, you can see these swatches across the left sleeve of Harness as he knocks down the second free throw. Got them both. Another McKenzie checking, this time Travis.
Only a freshman, hasn't played in at least the last 2 playoff games. A little surprising, maybe just to give a blow to somebody, because it's going to be, it's been an up and down and very physical game so far, Rob.
3 McKenzie brothers on this team. Shot by Elmo Colley, off the mark, rebound by Hoffman. Well, I tell you, I love the way Gaucher plays. He is really a good player.
If you don't, they don't want to rely on him to score. When he penetrates, the more he shoots when he penetrates, the worse off Char Valley is. He likes to penetrate and kick out before he can't really handle that ball. Starter since his sophomore year.
Not particularly flashy, just a solid player. If you like basketball, you like the way a guy like that plays. Elmo Colley spins around Jones and lays it up and in baseline. The lead is now 7 for Char Valley. Pass to Jacobs, cutting baseline, blew the layup. Jones gets the rebound. His shot off the mark and pulled down by Travis McKenzie.
The freshman pulls down a key rebound.
Gaucher stutters over in the corner to McKenzie. Being harassed by Winfrey, who better be careful. He already has 2 fouls. McKenzie drives, kicks back out to Hoffman. Hoffman, 1 extra pass by Elmo Colley. Travis thought about it, but
bring it out. I think they'd probably like to hold for 1 shot here, I think, Rob. You know, still 40 seconds left in the half, but if they go in up by 7 or maybe 9, they're in great shape.
1-3-1 trap. McKenzie out to Hoffman now. Hoffman had the double clutch to pass to Gaucher, over to McKenzie. McKenzie, long 3-pointer off the mark, rebound by Hoffman. He lays it up and in. And the lead is now 9, 25-16 Char Valley. And Dave Shuck calls a short timeout. Try to get one last play set up and try to get a basket that's going to cut into this lead. Oh, Char Valley's put the foot to the floor and blown past Uniontown.
Well, hey, Char, They started off slow today, but now they've really come on, Char Valley. They go up 9 at halftime. See, they're very good when they're ahead and have the lead. Look here. Here's the rebound. Dan Hoffman, you don't hear his name a lot. DH, Strum on the boards with a putback. I understand the timeout here. 21 seconds left in the half. Maybe you go for one shot, kind of waste the timeout there. But, hey, maybe Dave Shuck wants to set up a play to get it down to 5 to 7 or 6 for the half.
I would think that's what you're looking for here. Whatever your best play is, let's get it called and get a basket and stop the bleeding, because this has just been something.
Well, hey, we talked about it. They're shooting Uniontown, and it's hurt them. Dave Shuck, in the 11th season there, done a great job. 196 wins, 74 losses. You know, he learned from a pretty good guy, too. He was assistant coach at Uniontown in the 1960s under legendary Abe Everhart.
Yeah, and in fact, was an assistant for that 75 team of Abe Everhart's that won the Whitfield Championship. And now Winfrey, under 20 seconds now, under 15 seconds. Over to Jones, and Jones travels. 11.6 seconds left. McKenzie now checks in for McKenzie. That's Derek for Travis. And Harness to Ghosh, and Ghosh is going to let the ball move so the clock doesn't start. Now to Harness. Harness on the drive, kicks over to Minor. Minor, three-pointer on the way, shot off the mark, rebounded by Uniontown. They're going to have a chance for one last shot if they hurry, and they don't. And Char Valley is going to go into halftime with a 25-16 lead. Cinderella trying to try on one more shoe. We'll be back with more after this.
Mom, hey, it's me, Steve. Look, we've got to talk about Dad. I think it's time he had his own computer. And right now, you can get him a complete Dell system with an Intel Pentium 3 processor, kind of like mine, for a low $829. And if you order right now, you get a free DVD upgrade. And you'll get TurboTax software for free. No! So Dad can do something useful, like our taxes, so we don't have to depend on Uncle Saul. Because, Mom, I know how much you love Uncle Saul.
Get this complete Dell system with a powerful Intel Pentium 3 processor for only $829. Plus, you'll receive TurboTax Deluxe and Quicken Deluxe free. And will include 1 year of DellNet by MSN Internet access. If you call or go online now, you'll also get a free DVD upgrade.
Well, he's sweating over there, but not because he's losing. Dan Malloy's leading 5-3.
He's got to come back up and hopefully shoot to 5 in the same pocket.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I think that was the toughest thing. It would appear now that the rack is his for the taking. And there it is.
Notice the cue ball. Center of the table. Bing.
Roddy's lucky to avoid a selection call. And as you can see, there's some action on table number 1.
Now Pittsburgh has a nightly sports report dedicated to hometown teams' home team highlights. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news dedicated to your teams. The 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, Pittsburgh edition, nightly at 11. Every Sunday before the green flag drops, it's NASCAR This Morning, the best pre-race tailgate party this side of Talladega.
A new way to start off your race day.
Coverage begins with NASCAR Tech tomorrow at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back, halftime, and I'll tell you what, it's been amazing. Char Valley fell behind 4-0, and it didn't look like they were getting anything going at all. And all of a sudden, you look up, and they've got a 9-point halftime lead.
You know, the last 2 games I mentioned, they started off very fast in the early going against Montour and Central Catholic, took the lead early. Jerry Harness had big games early on. The opposite today, like you said, they somehow got it going, and one of the reasons they got it going was they started getting some dribble penetration, started getting the shots from the outside. Harness hit a few. A little nervous probably here in the early going. Once they started hitting a few, loosened up a little. On the other side, Uniontown, 28% shooting in the first half. been their problem a lot this year, and it's killing them here in this game.
They look very tight. It does not look like they are really getting into their offensive rhythm. They are known as a very, very patient offensive team. They try to get things frenetic defensively, but offensively they've been very patient, but today they really haven't been.
Well, I think Chartiers Valley's defense may have a lot to do with that. They're packing in a man-to-man, playing a lazy man-to-man, not guarding the point guard, getting good weak side help defense, and they're not getting a lot of good shots out of it.
Maybe it's time to stop calling Char Valley a Cinderella team since that close first-round game against Penn Hills. They've blown out Central Catholic, they've taken care of Montour, and now they lead by 9 here against the second seed, Uniontown. We'll be back with the second half from the Palumbo Center after this.
William Perry, Bill Lee, and Buster Douglas. They were unforgettable characters who captured our imagination.
It was more than I thought it was going to be. It was unbelievable.
But disappeared all too quickly.
Once we left the ring, that's when it all fell apart.
Where are they now? A Beyond the Glory special. Tomorrow at 8 on Fox Sports Net.
He's been voted the most powerful on-air personality in sports. He's larger than life. He sparked a passion taking the country by storm. And the Sporting News says he's generated more buzz than Oprah Winfrey and Larry King. He's arguably the hippest, freshest, funniest sports talker working today.
You're underpaid. There's no question about that.
That is some serious smack. Jim Rome, The Last Word. Weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net. Welcome to the jungle.
It came from the street and into your house. Non-stop hip-hop, the 32 fattest hits of all time on 2 CDs and 2 cassettes. You can't get this 32-track collection in any store. You can order this collection online at MusicSpace.com. If you order by credit card now, you'll get a free non-stop hip-hop medallion. You'll be macking and attacking with non-stop hip-hop. To order, call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com.
Okay, early on, Fremont Nocali stripped by Chris Jacobs. Jacobs had 10 of the 16 points scored by Uniontown, but then Jerry Harness started to heat
Jerry
up.
Harness had 12 points in the first half, got a couple good looks with Ryan Gaucher on the penetration and the kick out. That's been a key for them. Harness, 12 points first half.
Second quarter, De'Aaron Jenkins gets loose in the lane and knocks down the jump shot, but Uniontown has not done a good job shooting the basketball. And then El Nocali, nice job hitting the boards.
Kareem El Nocali's rebounded so well in the playoffs. You saw it there on one rebound. Then Dan Hoffman, DH a little bit. Strong on the board on the putback.
And you take a look at the statistics, and again, the one thing that jumps out to me is the field goal shooting percentage, because the rebounds you'd expect maybe Uniontown to have a slight edge, but look at the turnovers and look at the assists, huh?
Turnovers. You said it right there, Rob. Only 3 for Char Valley. They've handled the defensive pressure after the first few minutes. They're a little shaky in the early going. After that, and they've done a great job at it.
Well, can Char Valley hang on? They lead 25-16 over Uniontown. We'll be back with the second half from the Palumbo Center after this.
आदाबस विक्रम शो से हम आपका स्वागत करते हैं।
दो खिलाड़ियों का नाम अरुण दासी और भारत है, मगर ये देखो क्या हो रहा है। दोनों खिलाड़ी अब तैयार हैं, वो एक दूसरे के पास।
Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net. Pound for pound, the best fighters in the world go toe-to-toe. Witness boxing fury from a ringside seat. Sunday Night Fights on Fox Sports Net.
Somewhere between conventional hair replacement and conventional hair transplants, there's something else. New Graftique. This is how real hair grows, how real hair combs, how real hair feels. But Graftique isn't real growing hair. It's not conventional hair replacement or a transplant. Graftique is the new, improved, non-invasive hair graft from Folligraft. The improvement is in the graft itself, the thinnest layer of skin ever. This is growing hair under 90 times magnification. This is Graftique under 90 times magnification. Can't tell which is which? That's the point. Of course, since no one lives under a microscope, Graftique not only looks like growing hair, it lives like growing hair. Do whatever you did when you had a full head of hair. Maybe do it more often. If you don't want conventional hair replacement or a transplant, look into new Graftique by Folligraft. You won't believe your eyes.
For free information, call HRG now at 1-800-514-HAIR.
You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to the Palumbo Center. Rob King along with Mike White. And Mike, Char Valley, quick little trip in at halftime, came out. They've been shooting, getting warmed up. Uniontown just took the floor about 30 seconds ago. We've only got a minute left in the halftime break. I would imagine Dave Shuck had a couple things to say to his squad.
I think the Raiders may have gotten an earful. Mr. Shuck, what is he, about 6'7"? I know when he talks, I'd listen if he was talking to me. I think they need to knock down some shots, continue to rebound, but the key is going to be their shooting. They have to make some outside shots, and now their defensive pressure isn't creating as many turnovers, so it's going to come down to shooting, I think, in the second half.
And is it Char Valley just maintain, stay the course?
I think so. I mean, now that they were shaky in the beginning, now they're handling the pressure, and they got to keep doing the job on the boards. They can't get out-rebounded by the much more athletic team.
Coming up tonight, it's 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report. 30 minutes of nightly sports news completely dedicated to Pittsburgh's home teams. For extended regional highlights and in-depth interviews, including a recap of today's action, catch the 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, Pittsburgh edition, tonight only on Fox Sports Net with Stephanie Davis. Stephanie had a vested interest in
her cousin
yesterday's game.
Buzz, yeah, her Vincentian's coach.
Didn't work out for him as Menneson won that game, but still a good season, and they'll be moving on to the Pennsylvania State Championships.
Seen some great performances here this weekend. The two girls, and Kamala Gisson-Danner, Sherelle Allen, Goose Cheatham. The first half last night was one of the best first halves I've seen anybody play in a championship game for Blackhawk.
Again, resetting Uniontown in the white, Char Valley in the red. This is Winfrey with the ball over to Vaughns. To Jones. Jones looking, and one of the things Dave Shuck might have said is, hey, let's get some better shots. Winfrey penetrates, had it stripped by Gaucher, will remain Uniontown ball.
See, I really think Winfrey has to step up and take a couple, though, Rob, and maybe make one, because they're just not guarding him past the foul line.
Jump ball, and it's going to be Char Valley's on the alternate possession rule as Derek McKenzie got down on the floor and took it away off the inbound.
Well, once again, I think Tim McConnell has had a great game plan once again. What a job he's done. You know, before he came there, they had only won a section title 3 times in their school history. He won 6 of them since he came there in 1994.
Shot, pass inbounds and deflected, and O'Colly takes it to the basket off the deflection and is fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot a pair.
You know, sometimes when you're on a roll, things go your way, and there was a great example. McKenzie threw a pass that got batted, but it got tipped right to Al Nicoli. Kareem's brother comes to armor. Al Nicoli was a very good player here, walked on at Pitt, played a year or so there. His brother Ahmed, outstanding player on their WPL championship teams, having a good career at Princeton, playing for the Tigers.
Yeah, leading scorer evidently up there, and Kareem's dad is professor at Pittsburgh.
Wow.
Wow, and Duncan will be able to shoot a couple. Yeah, he's dad is a professor of engineering. We're talking about a bright group of kids. 4.0 students for Kareem.
Hey, I'm going to tell you right now, too, Kareem's going to be one of the best quarterback prospects in the WPIL next year. Pretty good arm. Look at his size. And the other thing, long arms and a good athlete.
I thought that was going to be a shooting foul. It's not. So Uniontown is inbounded now, down 10. Dump down to Jones, and Jones passing that one up. That was a good look. Over to Vaughns. Vaughns squares up for 3. Shot is off the mark. Vaughns goes up high. passes to Jones, and Elno Colley's going to be called for the foul. Now, that's his third.
Yeah.
That's a big foul.
I kind of thought they might call it over the back foul on the shot before that. It did not. Here's one missing from the corner. Elno Colley had position. I kind of thought it might have been an over the back call. They let it go.
So Elno Colley's going to have to play smart basketball here, make sure he doesn't pick up another one. No reaching in. Duncan went up for the shot, batted around and off Elno Colley, and evidently they're going to say Uniontown ball. Looked like pretty clearly went off the noggin of Elno Colley to me.
I looked at Tim McConnell. You know, just from that stretch right there, they're getting beat on the boards. He grabbed Dan Hoffman to maybe put him in, then he sat him back down.
Now the 1-3-1 trap.
See, Char Valley's going to spread the floor now. I was wondering how long they might wait to do this. No foul there.
Oh, Gaucher run over by Winfrey. We can hear the slapping of hands as well. McKenzie looking down for Minor, deflected and goes out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Uniontown. Now, there's a couple of odd calls.
Certainly, I think he had a reason to be there. That looked like it was tipped by a Uniontown player.
Well, it looked like they blew one down here, so now they're even. Pass down low. Good look by Duncan, and Jacobs blew the layup.
Boy, you got to make that. Chris Jacobs has been their leading scorer. He's got to make that.
Well, that was a nice pass. Nice entry pass by Duncan. Harness kicks out to Gaucher, and Char Valley is elected to be very, very patient. There's McKenzie going, driving, goes to Minor. Minor has it blocked from behind by Jones.
Dan Hoffman will come in. Now, Char Valley spreading the floor, 2-1-2 offense now, Rob. Watch here, Derek McKenzie, nice bounce pass. Glenn Minor kind of lost the handle. If he had caught it cleanly, he probably would have been able to score.
Elno Colley now out, Hoffman in. Gaucher all the way up to Minor. Minor back to Gaucher now. Gaucher's going to handle the ball. Got himself caught in midair, but was able to find McKenzie into Hoffman. Over to Gaucher. He's not going to shoot that one. Getting down to 5:20 left in the third here.
See, the thing with Char Valley is that makes them tough to handle with the lead. As McKenzie scores underneath, all 5 of their guys can handle the ball and take care of the ball, Rob. A lot of teams can't do that.
And talking about Uniontown, a really excellent, as Vaughn's travels, a really, really good pressure defense, and Char Valley does not appear flustered in the least.
Uniontown, can I say it, they are in deep trouble.
They need some turnovers, but they haven't shown much signs of being able to get those turnovers. Now Harness carries over, he's going to take it all the way in, and he's fouled on the reach-in. It looks like it's going to be on Duncan.
See, the way Uniontown presses,
no, it's
Rob,
on Jacobs.
The way Uniontown presses, they don't guard the man that takes the ball out of bounds. Char Valley has put Harness there. He gets the inbounds, takes it the length of the court without much pressure. Then he gets the foul. They're not, as you notice a lot, they don't let Gaucher and McKenzie bring it up because they face pressure. The man taking the ball out of bounds does not. There's the backdoor cut.
Knocked away. Here comes Jones. He gets loose, and Hoffman will be called on the foul on the reach-in.
You know, actually, the backdoor cut was there. And Hoffman just didn't quite get the passer. You see Nelson just look at that close-up. Here we come here. Here's Nelson the other end. The Rodman-Arrington cross. Get a close-up of him shooting his free throw. And that, you tell me if in the face doesn't look like a young LeVar Arrington.
There he is right there. Hits the first. It's going to be important for them to knock down some free throws. Defense is going to be the name of the game, though. You would think now with Elno Colley out of there that they should be able to continue to dominate rebounds.
Yeah, definitely with him out there. A little problem for Char Valley without him being in there.
Gaucher with Vaughn's all over him. Out to McKenzie.
Here's a reach.
Yeah. And that's on Dier Jenkins, the junior.
Dier saying, what did I do? Come on, Dier, a little bit of reach in there. See, Tim McConnell is going to try and take time off the clock. every possession they have.
Well, and instead of being a straight stall,
it's not a straight stall. You're exactly right.
They're gonna, if they see something, they're gonna take advantage of it. They've already tried to do that a couple times. A Gaucher to Harness. Spins. Harness looks now doubled, and Hoffman battling for it.
Yep.
That's a big play by Dan Hoffman.
Terrence Bonds on the foul.
Well, you start to think maybe now Uniontown gets a turnover. Maybe they can get a little something going. And they had the turnover here off the pressure.
Little frantic with the ball there. Jerry Harness had it taken away from him. Needs to chin that. Reach-in foul on Bonds.
There's Gaucher in the corner with Bonds guarding him. Again, Winfrey really unable to be able to stick with Gaucher because of a high ankle sprain. Now Hoffman
Danny
up
Hoffman.
and in.
You don't expect those plays from Dan Hoffman. He's played a nice game tonight.
Slashing through traffic. Back the other way. Quick shot. And Deere Jenkins scores. The lead maintained at 10 now.
Another reach. 15 foul now for Uniontown. Char Valley usually is a pretty good foul shooting team also.
So it's a 10-point lead, 30-20. Char Valley able to maintain their distance from Uniontown. Back to more after this.
Wrap up your race day with NASCAR Victory Lane. From the pole position to the winner's circle.
The last word on NASCAR each weekend.
A full recap of all the day's action. NASCAR Victory Lane, tomorrow at 9 on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Safe Auto Insurance Company, where there's always someone to answer your call.
Getting auto insurance from us has its benefits.
Low monthly payments.
Immediate coverage.
And the peace of mind you get from being prepared should you be pulled over.
That's right. In addition to being a good idea, having car insurance is the law.
As you can see, representatives are standing by.
So play it safe. Pick up the phone.
And call now.
Pick up the phone, the call is free. 1-800-SAVE-AUTO. Safe Auto.
I'm Jim Rome. Next week on The Last Word, I'll be joined in studio by Daytona 500 winner Michael Waltrip, and I'll talk to 76ers head coach Larry Brown about his team's outstanding season. The Last Word, weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
We're courtside here, and I've got two former stars for Coach Timmy McConnell. On my left is John Breeze Elbert, and on my right is Mike Colbert. Mike in 97-98, 2,000-point score. You've got to like what you see so far.
Oh, no doubt. They keep playing defense, keep handling the ball, they'll win this one.
Also, led the nation 3-point shots.
Yeah, I had a good career. I had great teammates that helped me along the way, so we played a lot of games, so that helped.
Mr. Breeze, real quick, what's Char Valley have to do to win?
Going to keep rebounding, keep them out of transition, and handle their pressure, and we'll be all right. We'll get our third championship.
Thanks, gentlemen. Let's go back to Robbie and Mike.
Thank you, Bill. Bill and my mother, the only ones that ever call me Robbie, by the way.
As long as you don't call me Mike.
Once again, Uniontown in the white if you're just joining us. Char Valley in the red. Uniontown, the #1 seed, in danger of being knocked off by Char Valley. Harness now with a three-pointer off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Jones.
Boy, he makes that. That would have been a killer.
Here's Vaughn's been very silent. Went over 1,000 points. The junior earlier this season takes to the basket, has it knocked away. Batted around, and it will remain Uniontown ball.
Well, we talked about Nelson Jones before the game. He has just really struggled offensively. Just can't get his shot to fall no matter where it is on the court.
Same with Vaughns. You mentioned Vaughns in that game against Hempfield. 18 points, goes over 1,000 for his career, and just has not been able to get anything going. Shot off the mark by Jenkins. That was a three-point attempt.
Good box-out positioning by Chartiers Valley.
That's the second time we've seen a ball hit the floor. You just don't see that too often. Now the pressure gets a turnover. Here comes Jenkins, and he'll lay it up and in, and now the lead is down to 8.
Well, Brian Gaucher made one of the few mistakes he's made here tonight against the trap. Dribbled into it, tried to throw through it, knocked away.
Here comes Harness now. He has it knocked away. This is Vaughns. Vaughns takes it to the basket, layup off the mark. Jones is fouled on the follow-up.
Uniontown energized here in this last minute by one steal and then another. They went to the 1-3-1 half-court trap. Jerry Harness dribbled right into it. They come the other way. Vaughns goes up, no good. Nelly on the spot. Nelson Jones, foul.
Love that camera on top of it.
That is kind of cool.
Isn't that neat? Elmo Colley in, 3 fouls and all. Hoffman comes out. We talked about the rebounding with Elmo Colley out, and you saw it in that last sequence, even though it wasn't transition, that Uniontown very active on the boards now.
Well, they'll look, they're going to really extend that 1-3-1 now. They're pounding the floor for defense, Uniontown's players.
Now this is not, if you're wondering why this doesn't look like the normal 1-3-1, they really like to try to push the ball into the corners, and that's where they'll trap. A lot of times you'll see teams trap out front with a 1-3-1, but they don't really do that. It's kind of a different 1-3-1.
Well, those are the two areas you can trap out of 1-3-1, the corner and out front. But like you said, they like to really go in those corners.
McKenzie, three-point shot off the mark. Jones pulls down the rebound. He's looking to run. Jones on the move.
Oh, he caught a block. He caught a block.
Now the only question is whether the basket counts as well. The basket is good, and Jones has cut it to 4 with a chance to slice it to 3 with a free throw.
Here he comes, Nelson Jones, rebound, going coast to coast, and oh, Nelly. Glass and good.
And a timeout for Char Valley. Uniontown has got their crowd energized. They're energized. That was a close call.
I don't want to say it. It looked like Gaucher had very good position.
Well, we won't hold you to it now. We'll wait and see what you write in the paper about this game. Now, Mr. Shuck is a big man. You can see him there. I've talked to him before the game. He was holding on to a basketball, looked like a girl's ball in his hand. This copyrighted telecast is presented. It's not prevented. Let me start that over again. This copyright telecast is presented by Fox Sports Net under the authority of the WIPIO and may not be reproduced, rebroadcast, re-recorded, or retransmitted in any form without the express written consent of the WPIAL. Jones with the free throw. Hits the second one.
That's 5 points in a row for Nelson Jones. He has been struggling, but boy, has he given this team a spark. This place has gotten loud.
I'll tell you what, too, sometimes when a guy's struggling, if he can get to the free throw line, that can really get him going. Minor off the pass from Gaucher.
Ryan Gaucher penetrated, goes to Minor. Big basket.
Ends a 7-0 streak. Jones, 3, and he is feeling it.
Nelly is feeling it. You said it. Struggled from the field, knocks down the 3.
32-30 now. McKenzie thought about the 3. Back to Harness down low. Harness gets it up over the top of Jones. Jerry Harness has continued to be a calming influence for Char Valley.
We've got ourselves a game. Good timeout by Tim McConnell. Settled things down a little there. Nick coming out and done much better against that trap.
Jones is Minor on him. Boy, he thought about it again, didn't he? Well, he's smart now to not get over-exuberant offensively.
He's got on the baseline. I thought he might go to the hole.
Dump down pass from Vaughns is a good one, but again, this was not the patience we saw from Uniontown earlier. They were rushing things,
there he is,
particularly in the first half. Jones kicks out to Winfrey. Pump fake, penetrates, pass down to Jacobs for the layup. 34-32.
Winfrey, excellent penetration, good bounce pass.
Elmo Colley pump fake.
Wow. Nelson Jones.
Boy, that was a Mexican standoff there, wasn't it? Elmo Colley looking at Jones. Jones looking back at Elmo Colley. Pump faking and finally drew the foul.
Well, you know what Char Valley has done since that timeout, Rob? Against this 1-3-1 half-court trap, they've gotten the ball to the corner and then broken the trap with the man on the block. It's 3 times in a row now they've done it.
Elmo Colley dribbles home the first one, using about every inch of the rim. Lead back up to 3 now.
Only the second foul on Nelson Jones, so he still has a lot of room to be aggressive.
Yeah, this is Elmo Colley coming out, and that's a smart move because Elmo Colley has 3 fouls.
Hey, I don't think you'll see Char Valley wear down conditioning. Tim McConnell makes his players run the great race every year.
Said he's never cut anybody in his time at Char Valley, but he says a lot of kids just don't want to put up with it. Here's Jones with a three-pointer in and out. Oh, that would have been huge. Under 20 seconds now, 4-point lead for Char Valley. I would think they could regain a measure of momentum if they can get a basket here. Harness kicks over to Minor. Minor, three-pointer. Oh! And he knocks it down. Harness to Minor, and the lead back up to 7. 3 seconds left. Kick out in the corner. Jackson, he hits it at the buzzer. Oh! 2 3-pointers in the last 10 seconds of the third.
This place is rocking now, Rob.
And it's 39-35, Char Valley. Stick around, it's going to be a wild fourth quarter. Char Valley up by 4 at the Palumbo Center.
Hi, my name is Joe Androstic, sales manager at Sendell Motors, Route 30 East in Greensburg. Volkswagen is one of the most popular cars on the road today. They're exciting, they're affordable, and they're just plain fun to drive. And as always here at Sendell Motors, you receive your best bottom line price and exceptional customer service before, during, and after the sale. So stop by for your test drive today. And remember, if you buy Volkswagen someplace else, you'll pay more money. Now, on the road of life, there are passengers and drivers. Drivers wanted.
Now Pittsburgh has a nightly sports report dedicated to hometown teams' home team highlights. It's 30 minutes of nightly sports news dedicated to your teams. The 11 p.m. Regional Sports Report, Pittsburgh edition, nightly at 11.
Every Sunday before the green flag drops, it's NASCAR This Morning, the best pre-race tailgate party this side of Talladega.
A new way to start off your race day.
Coverage begins with NASCAR Tech tomorrow at 10 on Fox Sports Net. You're watching Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to the Palumbo Center. They're on their feet. Char Valley leading Uniontown 39-35 as we head into the fourth. Uniontown in the white moving from left to right with the ball.
Great atmosphere here now, Rob. Really a special game this could turn into.
Jones has to take it away back to Jacobs now off the steal. And Jacobs lays it up and in, and now 39-37. Uniontown has cut it to 2. Minor trap, and they're going to call out of bounds.
There's that trap in the corner. Glenn Minor tried to call timeout. The officials didn't see, and he stepped out before he called it.
Well, we talked about, and we both agreed that Uniontown was in some difficulty, down 30-20. They exploded over the last couple minutes of the third quarter, and now with a layup by Jones, we're all tied, 39-39.
Oh, Nelly, he's really turned it on here in the third and fourth quarter.
Minor, he knocks down the three-pointer.
Minor has been major.
Yes, he has.
2 threes at the end of the third, and that one was turned into a great game, Rob.
Winfrey over to Jenkins. Winfrey again given plenty of room. Jacobs thought about it. Back out to Winfrey again.
Gaucher overplaying the right, wanting him to go left.
Jenkins shot hits the 2. 42-41 now.
Kind of turned into, can you top this?
Harness to El McCauley. El McCauley fouled and gets the roll.
That's big.
Well, you have to think if Char Valley can get a little distance as you take a look at the replay here.
See what they're doing now against that 1-3-1 trap. They're breaking it and attacking. Breaking it and attacking from the wings and the corners. Harness, nice pass. El McCauley with the basket misses the free throw.
And they're in the bonus. With 6.5 left here in the third. You have to think if they can get a little breathing room, we already saw in the third how they can take long stretches off the clock. The pass from Jenkins to Jacobs off the mark. Goes back to Char Valley.
Kareem El McCauley, Char Valley, one of their traits of defense they play, always front the post. At least a half front. He went topside there and a bad pass got knocked out of bounds.
McKenzie in the corner now. Pass to El McCauley, bats it and is able to control it. McKenzie on the move. Has it knocked down by Jacobs, and timeout called by Char Valley as McKenzie got himself in trouble. Very alert play.
He went in there. I don't know what he was trying to do. For a second, I thought it might have been a double dribble because when he let go of the ball, I never saw it touch anybody else, and he grabbed it again.
An outlet here. You're leaving them abandoned. They're trapping, and we're not being able to get the ball back out. Step back out, and you can be a shooter there. Right here on this play, I want 22. 22 out of bounds. If he's open, give it to him. If not, come off the screen, motion offense. Hey, in this 2-1-2 offense, if they keep trapping, you two can play with each other out there and use clock when we have the lead. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Here comes Jerry Harness off a screen on an out-of-bounds play. There's Susie McConnell. And there is the guy who started it off, Mr. McConnell, right there with Susie. Well, they have like 72 coaches in that family now, I think.
Inbounds by Coach Day, hasn't deflected, and will remain Char Valley ball again.
Harness is trying to sneak to the far corner.
Exactly what sneak is exactly
there
right.
There he is.
Drives and has it batted down from behind. Jump ball, and it's going to go
Char Valley.
Well, stays in Char Valley's way. You have to, again, we were able to listen in the huddle there, but to wonder when they're going to start pulling it out and trying to chew some clock up.
Well, as Tim McConnell told his troops there, don't lead, told Jerry Harness, don't lead when we get a trap. And the other thing is, he's talking about playing with the ball, him and Gaucher out front, just reverse the ball, take some time off the clock, play catch back and forth. Hey, Tim McConnell, Bill Power called him this week. Wished him good luck. He used to bring his daughter over, well, he didn't, his wife did, this summer to Char Valley in the mornings and work out her daughter, Megan Cower, with Tim McConnell. That shows you a little bit what some people think of him as a coach. Tim McConnell was shocked when he heard the message from Bill Cower. He came and had the technical department come and tape it. He wanted to keep it.
I'll tell you what else is a good sign of coaching is that, oh, nice block by Vaughns. I don't know if Conley gets it back and lays it in. As we listened in on that huddle, and he said, here's your options. He's not overcoaching them. He knows they're prepared to face this defense, and he knows that they're going to make the right decisions. That's a tough shot by Jenkins off the mark. Pulled down by Jones, over to Jenkins again in the corner. Out to Winfrey. Back to Jones, thought about the three-pointer. Winfrey pulls it back. Now Uniontown. I'll tell you what, you know Char Valley can take some time off the clock, so it's very important that they remain patient and get a good look. Eleanor Colley bats away at that and goes out of bounds and will remain Uniontown ball. They trail by 5, 46-41. Back with more from the Palumbo Center after this.
Most opticians provide the eyewear and services you need. Kent Opticians are no different. We provide alternatives to bifocals with progressive lenses, comprehensive exams including glaucoma testing to ensure healthy eyesight, designer sunglasses both with and without prescriptions, and an on-site lab for faster service. So what makes Kent Opticians stand out from the rest? You do. We not only help you see better, we also make you look good. Kent Opticians, Babcock Boulevard, North Hills.
Well, he's sweating over there, but not because he's losing. Dan Malloy's leading 5-3.
He's got to come back up and hopefully shoot the 5 in the same pocket.
Well, that shouldn't be a problem. I think that was the toughest thing. It would appear now that the rack is his for the taking. And there it is.
Notice the cue ball. Center of the table. Bing.
Roddy's lucky to avoid a selection call. And as you can see, there's some action on table number 1.
Quad A championships at the Palumbo Center have not been a disappointment. Char Valley up 46-41 over Uniontown.
Really turned into a great game here in the second half. You know, Char Valley's just been a team that's been strong tradition-wise in the 90s. Uniontown, boy, is there a team with more tradition than them? They've won 38 section titles, most in WPIL history, but it's been 20 years since they've won a WPIL. They're going to celebrate today with another one, or is Char Valley going to ruin it?
Oh, we're about to find out. Uniontown has been here 10 times. Not since '81. They've won 7 championships. Their 10th trip. First one was back in 1925.
Stan Savin was 10 years old then, wasn't he?
Rebound pulled down by Jones. Missed the layup, and Vaughns missed the follow-up. It's going to remain Uniontown ball. Jones will inbounds. Comes to Jacobs. Jacobs driving in, layup off the mark, gets his own, and puts it back up and in. 46-43 as we get under 5 minutes now left in the game.
Extending that 1-3-1 trap now.
Dare I say, under 5 minutes left in regulation. Harness now spins away from trouble into El McCauley, gets past Jones and lays it in.
See, they're breaking this trap now by getting the ball to the post area or on the block, and it's worked numerous times now.
Well, they're going to continue to attack, and they think they can get good looks. Jones is shot off the mark. Battle for, no foul called. Uniontown retains possession. Over to Vaughn's quick release. Oh, in and out. Boy, Vaughn's has just not quite been able to get it done. Too bad for him. He's had a terrific season. Harness to Minor.
See, there he is. Oh, he had El McCauley again.
Stripped away. El McCauley battling for it. Taken away. Up to Winfrey. Winfrey drives to the basket. Layup off the mark. Jones, Johnny on the spot again. And Nelson is fouled, this time by Derek McKenzie.
Well, they're not in the bonus yet, so actually Jones had the height advantage on McKenzie. A good foul by Derek McKenzie because Jones had the easy layup.
Under 4 minutes now. And Uniontown still trailing by 5, 48-43. Back with more from the Palumbo Center after this.
It came from the street and into your house. Non-stop hip-hop, the 32 fattest hits of all time on 2 CDs and 2 cassettes. You can't get this 32-track collection in any store. You can order this collection online at MusicSpace.com. If you order by credit card now, you'll get a free non-stop hip-hop medallion. You'll be macking and attacking with non-stop hip-hop. To order, call the number on your screen or log on to MusicSpace.com.
Welcome back to the Palumbo Center. Rob King, along with Mike White. Mike, I'll tell you what, we've been treated to a beauty.
Really has turned into a great game. You know, you feel bad for someone like Terrence Vaughn, who's been so key for them all year. Come down here, hasn't scored yet. You know, you feel bad for a teenage kid who comes down here, probably one of the biggest games of his life. But hey, he got here. That's more than a lot of other people can say.
They would not be here if it were not for the play of Terrence Vaughn. Mentioned over 1,000 points. He's been playing since a freshman. He's just a junior, and he's already got that 1,000. It's a magical mark, and to get it as a junior, pretty impressive. Here's Vaughn's in the corner. We'll try it again. Oh! This time he hits it. Well, Terrence Vaughn's maybe going to save his best for last.
Maybe, I guess I jinxed him maybe.
Missed his first 8 shots of the game and then hits that clutch three-pointer to cut it to 2. Gaucher now trying to put the keep away.
A lot of hand checking.
Chased by Winfrey. Harness. Three-pointer off the mark. Off his head now. And here comes Jenkins. Jenkins with Jones following. Fouled hard by McKenzie. And he's going to go to the line.
Derek McKenzie, hey, if I'm going to foul you, I'm going to make sure that you don't get the shot off. Here we come now down the other way. Here comes filling the lane, Nelson Jones. Hard foul, but a good foul by McKenzie. Nothing dirty there, just making sure the kid doesn't get a shot off.
He was very sure he didn't get a shot off.
McKenzie's a tough, gritty kid.
Both teams, I should say, in the bonus now. Jones hits another free throw. Jones started 0 for 9. He now has 13 points. He's really come alive. Harness, meanwhile, just 2 points here in the second half after carrying Char Valley in the first half. Second free throw off the mark and batted out of bounds by Vaughns on the press. Both teams in the bonus.
Well,
Char Valley leads 48-47, 3:05 left in the game.
I think this game's going to come down to how Char Valley, we said in the beginning, it's coming down to it. How's Char Valley going to handle this defensive half-court trap in the last 3 minutes of the game?
Gaucher and Harness. Out high, this is Harness now with the ball. Back to Gaucher. 2:40 left. They've taken 25 seconds off the clock. Now
Nelson,
30 seconds
he's
off
yelling
the clock.
over to Dave Shuck. He wants to change the defense. I think he wants to go man. Look at him. He's yelling at Dave Shuck. He wants to change the defense. And
McCauley now
got a foul, too. Careless foul.
Well, you can't keep letting them stay out there and play keep away. They kept the ball. They knocked 40 seconds off the clock on that possession, 41 seconds to be exact.
Well, they stayed in the 1-3-1 half-court trap, but you know what? I don't know if Char Valley could hold that ball for 2 minutes for the rest of the game. Nelly, very demonstrative individual, is he not? You gotta like him though. Leaves his heart out on that court.
Oh, he plays so hard. Both teams play very, very hard, very unselfishly. Now McCauley hits the first one. That's a big free throw.
Char Valley, usually a good foul shooting team.
Yeah, you don't want to miss the front ends of one-on-ones. Missed the second one, but was able to stretch the lead to 2. Jones to the rebound.
He's going all the way.
Leading the break himself. He does take it all the way. Gets the roll and ties the game.
You could
at
see
49.
You could see the look in his eye. He said, I'm taking this one the whole way, baby.
Harness over to Gaucher. Here's Hoffman now. Jacobs on.
Oh, he got fouled.
He got in the lane. No shot.
Oh.
Foul's going to be on Jenkins.
That's his 5th. That is his 5th. He gives you some offense, and he's fouled out of the game.
So De'Aaron Jenkins, the junior, had an excellent season, was the team's leading scorer, as we mentioned, until he was injured against Laurel Highland. Come off the bench since then, provided very valuable minutes. Again, did today, 13 points for Uniontown. And Brandon Duncan is going to come back in and take his place.
Yeah, De'Aaron Jenkins is pretty good defensively. Gives you another guy who traps well and defends well. We'll see what Brandon Duncan can do here.
Now McCauley now, 1-1. Team tied at 49. Knocks down the first one. He doesn't look to be the least concerned, does he?
I said Char Valley, good free throw shooting team. You see there, 8 of 11 from the line.
And he hits them both. McCauley's pulse doesn't look like it's gone up 1 beat a minute.
Well, he's got
Very
that quarterback
calm and
blood.
cool, yeah. 2-point lead, under 2 minutes left. Duncan is going to be called for the travel.
Yeah, definitely shuffled those feet a little bit. Coming off the screen.
Nelson Jones still saying he wants to change the defense.
Yeah. He's
not getting his way, and he's letting Dave Shuck know he's not happy about it. Here's the trap, and Hoffman is going to call a timeout and get the call with Char Valley up 51-49. And we're going to listen in on the Char Valley huddle as you see Dave Shuck going to bring his team over and have a few
Don't even
words
throw it
to
to the sideline
say his
there,
way.
Jerry or Derek or Brian. Let's run motion offense. They're in man. They're going man. They stay in the trap, that's okay. Just take care of the ball outside and make them chase it. Kareem's got to be big. 2-1-2, play with it outside. But Kareem, you got to get big in there. If they go man, we're in motion. I'll take a layup only. Layup only. Take care of the ball. You got to get strong with the ball. Strong with the basketball. You can't let these guys get their hands in and pat it away. You got to be strong and use your elbows, but don't swing them. You got to be low and you got to be strong. Guys, dig deep and let's go get it. Come on. 1, 2, 3.
Put me in, man. I'm ready.
You know, there's 3 reasons why Tim McConnell is a great coach. Number 1, he's knowledgeable. Number 2, he works his rear end off. And number 3, he can motivate. He can motivate, and you saw it right there. Some kids don't respond to it, but he's a motivator. He's got 2 young boys. He got a couple players coming up too. They're young, but he got a couple kids of his own who are going to turn out to be players.
Now they're going to play a little keep away. Winfrey all the way out. Sprained ankle and all. Into Elmo Colley, and he lays it up and in. What a game for Elmo Colley. Now 8 of 9 from the floor. 7 of 10 from the free throw line. He's got 23 points. Jones, long three, off the mark. Elmo Colley with a rebound. And now Char Valley in control with the ball. Good free throw shooting team. Good ball handling team. Pressure by Uniontown.
I'll tell you what.
Foul on Vaughns.
I think Nelson Jones is going to come out of the game here. Dave Schock, not a happy man after that three-pointer from Nelson Jones. Kevin McLee's going to come in the game. It will be interesting to see if he puts him in for Nelson Jones. Nelson Jones lost his head there for a minute. That is not the shot that Dave Schock wanted.
Gaucher hits the first one.
Yep.
It is for Jones, and Jones maybe getting a little, even though he's a guy who plays very emotionally, not calling a timeout. Chuck does. Maybe he's let his emotions get a little to the best of him.
They're young kids in a big game. Young kids in a big game, and sometimes they do not the smartest things. And Dave Schock's giving them an earful now. But he's doing it in a good way, in a calm way. Now is not so calm.
Then it's my fault as the coach. You stay in and you get us.
We're listening in again.
Vaughns is a shooter.
Char Valley.
You better get out on Vaughns. Do not let him get open. You better tell me what color underwear he has on. Jerry, number 30. You better be all over him. Ryan, do not let Winfrey penetrate, but do not give him a wide open 3. Everybody's guarded. Everybody's guarded. You're not out pressure so you can drive around you, but you're not giving him that wide open shot. DH, you got to get big on the boards. Kareem, you got to get big on the boards. Listen to me. We get the rebound, get in our guard's hands, come out and make it a foul shooting game. Put this one in.
He's the best. He's the best.
Woo! Man. Well, it's pretty clear what they need to do.
Boxers or breeds?
They need to play defense like Supermen. They need to do everything there, huh? Don't let him penetrate, but don't give him the 3 either.
You know, he didn't talk a lot of X's and O's there. I didn't think he needed to. Went to each one of his players there, I think, and said something to them to motivate them.
That's exactly right. Gaucher, boy, another great floor game. First points of the day. Only took a few layups and missed those, but does a nice job distributing the ball, taking care of it. Out to Winfrey, over to Vaughns. Vaughns taking a look at 3. Couldn't get it, back out to Winfrey again. Vaughns will try to penetrate now, drives to the basket, lays it up and in. Well, that young man has made some big baskets down the stretch after struggling earlier for Uniontown, some clutch baskets.
Well, Char Valley defensively did exactly what Tim McConnell said. Guard the 3. Don't give up the 3, especially to Vaughns.
Want to turn it into a free throw shooting game, and Gaucher now at the line, and timeout again for Uniontown as Jones checks back into the game.
He puts Nelson Jones back in. I think it's a good move by Dave Schock. I think he learned his lesson. I think Nelson Jones knew what he did wrong. Hey, you need him in there. He's energetic. He'll get you rebounds or something. 37 seconds left. Put one of your better players back in.
Well, Gaucher knocked down the last 2 free throws. Elmo Colley 7 of 10 from the free throw line.
Ryan, do not let him roll the ball. I want every second to roll off this clock as much as possible. You know Vaughns is going to be a shooter. I want you to stay down. Don't let him get there. Jerry, we just talked about it when you were coming over here. 30 was going off the screen, and you fought out for the 3, and he curled and went to the middle. You got to fight your tail to get back. Kareem, stay in and rebound. DH, don't let 32 drive on us. Don't give up a basket here. Get the rebound, get it in our guard's hands, and make it a foul shooting game. Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
And I think a very smart decision there. Again, you talked about his coaching. It's a small thing. He does not want them to be able to roll the ball up to half court, get the ball half of that 94 feet and not have any time taken off. So you're going to see after this free throw, if Gaucher makes it, he's going to make sure that they have to catch the inbounds pass and dribble it up the floor and take another 3 or 4 seconds off the clock.
Token pressure. You'll see him giving a little token pressure.
Make him catch the ball, then he'll probably retreat.
And guard the threes. Guard the threes.
And Gaucher is going to shoot 2. Team up 4. Missed the first one.
This is a big one here. He needs to get that up to a 5-point game. Nope.
Off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Jacob. Here comes Vaughns on the move. Vaughns being guarded by McKenzie. He goes around him, drives to the basket, lays it up and in. And now it's a 2-point game. Into Gaucher. Gaucher being guarded by Winfrey, and he's fouled. 2-point game now. Gaucher goes to the free throw line again. 55-53, 21.4 seconds left.
Well, Brian Gaucher, one of the seniors of this team, a 3-year starter. This is the guy I think you would want at the foul line. He missed the last 2. We'll see what he has in him now.
He's going to hit this one.
Good call, Mr. King.
Maybe a little frozen coming out of that long timeout. He is a senior. 3-point lead now. And he hit them both. Oh, that's clutch. Inbounds to Vaughns now. Vaughns has been carrying him offensively after a slow start. He has been very big for Uniontown down the stretch. And now the layup up and in by Jacobs.
No timeout by Uniontown. Why?
I think they may be out of timeouts. Off the inbounds, and Char Valley has to call timeout with 7.4 seconds left, 57-55. And we're going to be going over once again to the Char Valley huddle. See Dave Shuck, and we're going to hear from Tim McConnell again.
Run the baseline. Okay, look, here's the point. This is Jerry Harness bringing the ball in right here. No, I'm sorry, it's Derek McKenzie. Kareem, I want you right here, and I want Derek McKenzie right here. Brian Gaucher's here, and Glenn's here. Foul line extended, Glenn. Sprint out of there. Brian, you got to bring your man off and read it. If he doesn't get it, Derek, you are filling here. I'm sorry, this is Jerry. Derek, you're taking the ball out. This is Jerry, and Kareem's our lob man. We get it in, let the clock run. Try to pass it to a teammate. Make foul shots, guys. They're going to foul you. You got to get the ball in. We have 1 timeout left. 1 left. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Brian, you got it.
You know, Rob, I mentioned the timeouts. Uniontown had 2 30-second timeouts left.
I'm surprised they didn't call it. They lost about 5, 6 seconds off the clock.
I marked it. They scored with 13 seconds left. 6 seconds ran off that clock before Char Valley called a timeout. They're not guarding the inbounds, man.
McKenzie will inbound.
Lob past him now in the call. He'll lob to him. No.
Gaucher able to get himself a little room, and he's fouled by Jacobs. Well, nobody grabbed him right off the bat either.
Well, once again, your senior at the line. He's been through many of these games. Class president, Rob. Who else would you want there?
And Uniontown's going to call timeout. They only have 2 30-second timeouts.
Now, here's the thing. Drives me nuts when coaches do this. Let's say he makes 1 of 2. If he makes 1 of 2, you got to foul once they get past half court. Don't let him shoot a 3-pointer. So many coaches, you foul, okay, they got to make a free throw, miss the second, get the rebound, and score. How many times do you see that happen? Not often. But how many times do you see a 3-pointer at the buzzer send it into overtime?
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And I mean, they've got to then get the ball up the floor too, so there's not going to be much time left. mean, that's going to be the end of the game.
If he makes one of two, I think you have to foul once they get past half court. The other thing is they're in a 1-on-1. They're not in a 2-shot bonus yet. Char Valley only has, well, Char Valley's shooting 2 here. Right. But Uniontown, you foul them, it's a 1-on-1, not 2 shots.
That's right, you missed the front end of that. Now you've got to be aware enough to kick it out and try a 3. With about 2 seconds left on the clock.
With a 1-on-1, you have to make the first, miss the second on purpose, get the rebound and score.
O'Shea shooting 2. First one on the way.
But it may not matter.
But nylon, that's right.
It may not matter.
Lead up to 3 now.
He got him.
Got them both. Both teams signaling for timeout. And it's Char Valley who's going to be charged with a timeout, a full timeout. The lead is 4.
Wow. Who'd have thunk it, Rob? This team 3rd place in their section.
First season in Quad A. According to Coach McConnell, only 7 students over the 3A designation, so a very small Quad A team. You look at him stature-wise as far as the team goes, not a big team either.
What a coaching job. Really, the players did great, the senior leadership, but what a coaching job. Really, when you get down to it. I don't know if I've seen a better one. 2nd year in a row now. 2nd year in a row. 3rd place team comes out and wins the WPL title. Last year's Penn Hills, they did it a lot differently. They did it with a one-man team pretty much, and Drew Shafino, he carried that team on his back to the championship. This has been a much, much more team effort.
No question about this. Both teams, again, in Uniontown, after a very slow start offensively in the first quarter and into the second quarter, has resumed their very, very unselfish play. So we've seen 2 very good offenses, very patient teams that don't care how many each kid scored. It's rare when you see teams that are as unselfish as both these teams are.
Well, that's sometimes marked with champ. How about Brian Gaucher? Boy, he was struggling at one point this year. McConnell was going to bench him, but boy, has he been big in the playoffs. Last 5 seconds.
Tim McConnell telling his team, do not foul the shooter. Here's Vaughn's long 3-point attempt off the mark. El Notali with a rebound, and Char Valley with a championship. And they're going nuts. The Colts are on the loose. There's Tim McConnell.
Wow.
Incredible job as he congratulates the Uniontown players on a terrific season.
You know, he said the other night, my guys are defying the odds. Boy, they did. Knocked off number 1, number 2, number 3 seeds in the last 3 rounds.
And the defending champions in the first round as well. Incredible run to the playoffs by Char Valley. We'll be back with more from the Palumbo Center after this.
Hey, Keith, can you do something about this you the man bullshit?
As God is my witness, we will find a cure for this in our lifetime.
The Keith Olbermann Evening News, Sundays at 10 on Fox Sports Net.
I'm Jim Rome. Next week on The Last Word, I'll be joined in studio by Daytona 500 winner Michael Waltrip, and I'll talk to 76ers head coach Larry Brown about his team's outstanding season. The Last Word, weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.